Right. Do you see this targeting of elite institutions as a broader culture war against what some label liberal academia?
I'm sorry, would you repeat that, Mona?
Again, let me hear repeated. Do you see the targeting of elite institutions as a broader culture war against what some label liberal academia?
Yeah, some leaders are having trouble resisting the pressure because, among other things, they're not as prestigious or as rich as Harvard. Harvard can afford to withstand this pressure on many different levels. It's probably the most revered, the most revered institution in America, and it's also the richest. So they come from a different perspective and a stronger position. So they're the ones who should lead the battle against this, and they're likely going to win it.
Now, the $50 billion foreign student economy supports not just universities but also housing, local services, and even state revenues. Could this trigger ripple effects in regional economies?
Now, yeah, I mean, it could, but here again, it's not likely to last. Uh, if we're talking about the restriction on foreigners, if that's what you were talking about, the restriction on foreigners coming into the United States to study, I mean, imagine, this is not something that's going to be that's going to be around for a very long time.
If I may ask you about a certain case of a student, Mahmoud Khalil, who, uh, uh, who was arrested and deported. Uh, what do you have on that?
Yeah, the problem with some of these kids who have been deported or detained is based on very flimsy evidence. One of the things that some people are doing is that anybody who protests Israel's actions against Palestinians are sometimes branded as Hamas supporters, which couldn't be further from the truth. So the one good thing is that the judicial system in the United States is very strong and very powerful and just. So it has to work its way through the judicial system. But in the end,
But at this
I
very
think
particular case, we're speaking about the detention of a student and him being deported. Now, the with no evidence of so far or any so far evidence. Now, what do you think of that, and how will that reflect on the reputation of the U.S. as the protector of the freedom of speech, the human rights, and all the big uh, uh, slogans that the United States is famous for?
Uh, Bona, you put it perfectly. I mean, it clearly goes against everything the United States stands for. I mean, the idea of deporting students on very slim or no evidence of their misdeeds is as un-American as anything you can think of. But as I said earlier, uh, this will work its way through the courts and will eventually be reversed because it cannot stand. There is very little evidence for these deportations, and in this particular case, very little or none. So we can expect it to be reversed, but it is still a stain on the United States and its reputation because it happened in the first place.